Hello, friends. I wanted to share with you a little bit about what we had sent home last week. First, regarding the story that came in the packet, and then there are three different packets that all relate to the story. One is the story itself, To the Zoo. Then there's a packet for comprehension and a packet for spelling words. Okay, let me show you what we've got. It's a little different. There's some new pieces, and I wanted to make sure that everyone understands kind of what's going on there. Okay, let me go back here. This is our story, To the Zoo. And so just like we did last week, you have, of course, the opportunity to read it as many times as you like. Repetition is so great for our kids. And so what we would tend to do in school is to read it every day of the week and then interact with it a little bit differently. So perhaps on Monday, Tuesday, you might read the story a couple of times and then do your spelling words. And then on like the next day, you would read the story and do another choice of spelling sheet or comprehension. There's a lot of great stuff in here. So let me show you. In the next page after the story, the next packet rather, let me pull up this, is, oops, going too fast. There we go. Is this. It is our communication board, and that's the top page of your next packet. The packet is, this is the packet all about comprehension. So let me show you what's inside. You will have, sorry, this is the master copy, so you have to see all the stuff. This is the next page in your comprehension package. This is sort of like breaking down the story into telling about who did the what thing, or who did an action, and then like what happened. So for instance, in the story, Sue and Zuri look at a map and then they go to the lion. So you could say Sue and Zuri for the who. What would be look, or no, what would be map, and then look is the action, right? Kind of feel like it should be switched around, but that's okay. And so you could use it as like, I would probably use this in connection with the communication board. So you can touch who, and on the board it has the icon for Zuri and Sue. And so you can just touch those icons. What did they do? They looked, or what happened? They look at the action, and then they saw a lion. So that's probably how you could do it. If you hold on to this until the end of the week, you could cut and paste the icons from the communication board into this, and then that would be like the final time kind of a deal to use it. Then you're probably more familiar with this page, classic comprehension with visual supports. Most of our kids are kind of might need a little bit of help when you have 3 choice options, so it might be easier to make it just down to 2 choices, but that's your call. And then our last piece is a little bit tricky. It is this first, next, then sort of situation, and this is a sequencing activity. So you have this page and then you have this page. So what you'd want to do is, as you're reading the story, identify, oh, we see the lions, that first we saw the lions, let's match it. It's first, match lions, there you go. Or glue the lions rather. And that would be how you would interact with that. So that gives you at least 3 or 4 days worth of activities. And of course, if you choose to not use glue or stick any of these into the dry erase pocket, you can make them reusable. So you can interact with them as many times as you like. Then we're going to do our spelling packet. That should be right after these first 2 packets is the spelling packet. And so, so these spelling words relate directly to the book that you're reading. And so you, of course, have the opportunity again to go through and pick a couple of words each day that you're going to highlight in the book and look for. And of course, it's always a good plan if you want to keep the kids excited, changing out the colors. So, the first word might be yellow, the next word might be a different color. The hard part is when you get into more bright or dark colors that you can't read it if you highlight them. If you have a full pack of multitudinous colors of highlighters, fantastic. But otherwise, you might want to like circle or underline. So, okay, so we're very familiar with tracing. We are familiar with writing. So typically what we would do in our classroom would be If you don't use the dry erase pocket, you would at least rip these off of the packet and put them side by side. So that first you trace it, and then you have the prompt to look at to write them. And then the next page is complete, like a fill in the blank sort of situation. And this is taking the, it's taking basically these words, the spelling words, and you're going to fill in the blank. And the next page, or sorry, you have to see again the master. The next page is going to be thinking about the sounds of the words. What word starts like new? Well, we need to go to our word bank and look what one starts with an N, like new. So let's go to the word bank, which for you is your next page. This is going to give you more than enough words to use. And so if you cut it in half, you would have 3 sets, which you don't actually need. You only need 2 sets for these fill in the blanks, but not a problem, because you can always be creative. I know some of the families are writing their own sentences in their notebook, and so you can use them in a variety of different ways, and maybe even create your own communication board at home for your student to use, which would be pretty cool. So anyway, so this is, you would just cut a strip or 2 of these out, and then when you're ready to work on finishing those worksheets, this is what you would use. Not a big deal. And that's basically it for this like reading capsule, right? You have a book, you have a comprehension packet, and then you also have a spelling words packet. The spelling words and the comprehension all relate to the book. You have opportunities to interact with them every single day if you so desire. And if you just want to like wham bam and you're done, fantastic. Or if you're like, it's a lot, my student is not handling this well, just take little bits. And all of those are great, totally fine options. No pressure whatsoever. Let me know what's working for you or what's a struggle, and I'm really happy to help you and be there for you. Okay, that's basically it. So I'm going to make another video for some of the other pieces that I sent home, and we'll keep plugging away. Okay, thanks so much. See you later.